I never imagined my 35th birthday would turn into a showdown straight out of a courtroom drama. But there I was, staring down a table of slick lawyers in a cozy steakhouse tucked away in the rolling hills of Montana's Bitterroot Valley. My name is Sarah Thompson, and at that point in my life, I'd thought I'd seen it all, growing up on our family's modest ranch outside Missoula, watching Mom battle through droughts and market crashes to keep the place afloat. She passed away 6 months earlier, leaving behind the ranch, a chunk of savings from her careful scrimping, and a cabin up in the Flathead Lake area that held all our childhood memories. As the executor of her will, I'd handled the gritty details, the funeral in the local chapel, the endless probate filings, the calls to the bank about her accounts. My younger brother, Jake, who was 25 and always a bit of a drifter, had barely shown up for any of it. Life with my husband, Alex, a sharp financial lawyer who specialized in estate planning, and our 7-year-old son, Tyler, was steady. We lived in a simple ranch-style home on the outskirts of Missoula, with a view of the Rockies that made every sunrise feel like a fresh start. We weren't rolling in cash, but we had enough: a manageable mortgage, good public schools, and a safety net Mom had built through years of working as a nurse and managing the ranch on the side. Jake, on the other hand, had blown through jobs like Wind Through the Pines, bartending in Bozeman, guiding tours in Yellowstone. Nothing stuck. He'd gotten his share of the inheritance 3 months back, $25,000 cash and Dad's old Ford pickup collection, which he sold off quick for quick bucks. It started with a knock on our door one crisp April afternoon. Through the screen, I saw Jake, fidgeting like he used to as a kid, arms slung around a woman I'd met once or twice. Her name was Brooke, his girlfriend of barely 9 months. She stood there like she owned the place, her designer jeans and boots screaming city girl trying too hard to fit in the West. "Sarah," Jake beamed as I let them in. "Good to see you." "Cease." I brewed some coffee, strong, black, the way Montanans like it, and we settled in the living room. Brooke's eyes darted around, noting the framed photos of Mom on horseback, the worn leather sofa, the flat screen that wasn't the latest model. "We've got big news," Jake said, grabbing Brooke's hand. "We're tying the knot." I congratulated them, genuinely pleased despite the whirlwind romance. Then Brooke pulled out a fancy binder from her oversized bag. "We've planned this dream wedding at a lodge up near Glacier National Park," she said, her voice all sugar and spice. "About 120 guests, live bluegrass band, horseback entrance, the whole Western charm thing. Total cost, $62,000. I nearly spit out my coffee. "Whoa. That's a hefty tab for a shindig." Jake leaned in. "That's why we're here. Mom's estate, you're handling it all. We figured you could cut a check from the ranch funds or savings." The room went quiet, save for the hum of the fridge. "Jake," I said carefully, "Mom's will was crystal clear. Equal split. You got your cut already." Brooke's smile tightened. "But a wedding's a family affair. Your mom would have wanted to pitch in." "My mom," I cut in, "taught us to stretch a dollar. She worked doubles at the hospital and fixed fences herself to leave us anything." Jake's face hardened. "So, no?" "Just like that. I'm saying I can't dip into settled estate funds," I replied. "But Alex and I can gift you $12,000, our way of celebrating." Brooke's laugh was like a coyote's bark. $12,000? That covers the cake and maybe the bar tab. Then scale it back, I suggested. A backyard barbecue under the stars could be just as memorable. Brooke's composure cracked. "I knew you'd be like this, selfish. Clinging to that ranch like it's yours alone. The cabin, the savings, even her jewelry. You call the shots as executor. How convenient. Jake tried to intervene, but Brooke steamrolled. You've hoarded it all. We deserve our fair share. I stood, steady as a rock. Time to go. Jake rose too. This ain't done.
Sarah.
Mom meant for that money to support family. It was distributed per her wishes, I said. If you've got beef, talk to a lawyer. Brooke's parting smile was pure ice.
Oh.
We will. As their truck kicked up dust down the driveway, a chill settled in my gut. This wasn't just about wedding bells. It felt like a storm brewing over the mountains. That night, over venison stew, I spilled it all to Alex. He listened, his lawyer brain ticking. Legally,
They're on thin ice, he said.
Mom's will was airtight, notarized with witnesses, and she was sharp as ever when she signed it. But sleep evaded me, replaying Brooke's predatory glare. Jake, the kid I'd taught to ride bikes and fish in the Clark Fork River, now saw me as the enemy. Little did I know, the harassment was just revving up. The calls kicked off 3 days later. Jake's number lit up my phone like wildfire alerts in summer. Monday, the pleading brother. We're blood.
Sarah.
After Dad died in that logging accident when I was 13, you stepped up. Doesn't that count? Wednesday, guilt trip. Mom'd roll in her grave seeing us at odds. Family first. Remember? Friday, blame game. You've changed since Alex. He's turning you against me. I screened most. But when I picked up, I stayed firm. Estate closed. Offer stands. End of story. Brooke's texts were sneakier, hitting at weak moments, like during Tyler's Little League practice or at 3 a.m. I get you're guarding your mom's legacy. But was she really all there at the end? Ranch hands mention her mixing up feed schedules. Another with a link to a Montana probate law article. Highlighted bits on contested wills and mental incapacity. Food for thought, she added. Knowledge is your best defense. The worst was a photo of Mom at her last oncology appointment, looking worn. How Brooke got it? I couldn't fathom. Your mom needed real support. Where were you? Some of us cared enough to check in. That was bull. Brooke had met Mom twice. All surface chit-chat. I'd taken leave from my teaching job, driven her to chemo in Missoula, held her through the pain. Alex found me sobbing over that text. She's gaslighting you, he said, scrolling the chain. Classic playbook, so doubt. Twist facts. But the details, ranch hands, doctors? His jaw set. She's dug deep. This is calculated. April brought more heat. Jake called my school, claiming family emergency, to drag me out of class. He ambushed me at Tyler's game, blocking my SUV with talk of blood ties and forgiveness. You're my only sis, he said. Don't rob Tyler of an uncle over cash. I'm setting boundaries. Jake, not cutting ties. Boundaries? You got the ranch, the cabin, our roots, and you hoard it.
We split even.
You cashed out Dad's trucks for more than the cabin's worth. His cheeks flushed. I needed cash flow. Living in Brooke's condo in Bozeman ain't free. And I quit that guide gig. Quit? Why? Building our future, he muttered. You wouldn't get it. You've got Alex bankrolling you. The hypocrisy stung. I'd waitressed through college, built my career. Jake had flunked out of tech school, mooched off Mom. The breaking point, a process server at our door during dinner. Papers from some billings firm, probing irregularities in Mom's estate. Not a suit, Alex analyzed. Intimidation. They're bluffing for payout. I dug into Mom's files that night. Bills, medical notes, bank statements. What I uncovered would flip the script. But first, My birthday celebration loomed, where the real trap waited. My birthday rolled around in late May, under Montana's big blue sky. I'd planned low-key, pancakes with Tyler, a hike in the Bitterroots, maybe ribs at our favorite joint in Missoula. But Thursday, Jake called, voice softer than it had been in weeks. Sarah, I know we've been butting heads. Let's fix it. Dinner on me for your big day, just family. No drama. This steakhouse in Hamilton's got a private room. Killer views of the valley. I paused, suspicion prickling. 2 months of pressure had me on edge. Please, he added. Brooke and I've been talking it out, even seeing a counselor. We pushed too hard on the wedding. This is about us, not dough. Alex overheard on speaker, his eyes narrowing. But Jake sounded different. Humble, almost. The Rusty Spur, Jake said. Saturday, 7 p.m. Private booth for 4 Alex.
Me. Brooke.
Against my gut, I said yes. The Rusty Spur was classic Western charm, log walls, antler chandeliers, the scent of grilled beef wafting from the kitchen. A hostess in cowboy boots led us past families digging into bison burgers to a back room. Your party's waiting, she drawled, swinging open the door. The space was cozy, stone fireplace crackling, a long wooden table set for 7, not 4.
7.
Jake stood, grinning wide. Brooke stayed seated, in a sleek red dress that screamed out of place. Flanking them, 3 guys in suits, briefcases at their feet like loyal hounds. Happy birthday.
Je qu'est-ce chiro.
Alex's hand tightened on mine as we sat. My radar screamed ambush, but I wanted to see their hand. Meet the crew, Brooke said smoothly. This is Harlan Decker from Decker Law and Billings, Wade Finley from Finley and Associates, and Lee Ramirez from Ramirez Legal Group. The men nodded, faces poker straight. Lawyers? I echoed. At my birthday? And this is Cody Blaine, Brooke added, nodding to a fidgety young guy. He's noting everything for the record. Noting. Alex's tone was steel. Just keeping it straight, Jake rushed. You're a lawyer. Bro, you get it. A waiter poured local microbrews. No one sipped. Apps first, I asked, playing cool. Or we diving in? Brooke's grin was shark-like. Straight shooter.
Ha, fine.
Gentlemen. Decker cleared his throat, flipping his binder. MS. Thompson. We're here on estate matters. Your clients suspect mishandling of your mother's assets. Mishandling. Finley jumped in. Questions on influence over the will. Fund mismanagement. Her mental state laid on. No proof, Alex shot back. Ramirez slid a folder. We've got affidavits. Ranch hands saw confusion. Medical notes on memory slips.
Odd transfers.
My pulse raced, but I stayed calm. Bluffing. Like these $35,000 wires to your account pre-death, Ramirez said. Reimbursements, I countered. For her treatments, I fronted. Have every receipt. Sure you do, Brooke purred. Blaine scribbled, his phone face up. Recording. Gotcha. Here's our fix, Decker said, pushing papers. Power of attorney shared. You stay executor, but Jake and Brooke oversee for fairness. I scanned. Clauses giving them veto on sales. Access to books. Retro challenges. Poison. Thorough, Alex said mildly. Months in the works.
Préparation pays, Brooke replied.
Us too. Alex set his phone down. Mind if we record? For clarity, the lawyers shifted. Blaine froze. Unnecessary, Decker hedged. Essential, I said.
Smiling.
Legal chat at dinner? Every word on tape. Accusations. Threats. Tension crackled. Threats. Brooke's pitch rose. We're helping. Mom named me executor, I said. Well-drafted sound. With her longtime Missoula attorney. Soundness is debatable, Ramirez said. Not here, Alex countered. I've seen the psych evals. Competent to the end. The table froze. I dug deep in Mom's box. Competency letters from her doc. Timed to counter any incapacity claims. Plus bank logs showing no funny business. Brooke's facade slipped. You think you're clever? That ranch should have been split fair. It was, I said. Jake got cash and trucks, sold them fast. Jake looked away. Needed liquidity. The waiter returned. We waved him off. Sign, Brooke urged. Or we contest in court, drag it out. Bleed you dry in fees. Montana probate's clear, Alex said. No grounds. You'd lose and face sanctions for frivolous suits. Decker paled. Perhaps negotiate. I leaned in. Or we flip it. I've got texts, calls, harassment logs. Stalking at Tyler's school? That's restraining order territory. Brooke blanched. Bluff. Try me. The lawyers conferred in whispers. Finley stood. This meeting's over. They filed out, leaving Jake and Brooke stunned. What now? Jake muttered.
Home, I said.
And think hard about who you're riding with. As Alex and I drove into the starry night, he squeezed my hand. You were a force. Mom taught me grit. But Jake. He's in deep. The next week's blurred into investigation mode. Alex pulled strings with colleagues. Background on Brooke. Turns out, she wasn't just pushy, she had a trail. Born Emily Hart in Nevada. She'd changed names after a messy case in Reno. Targeted a widow's son. Pushed for guardianship over the mom. Siphoned funds via wedding expenses. Settled out of court. Vanished. Pattern. Latch onto vulnerable heirs.
Manipulate via romance.
Strike at estates. Jake called sporadically. Conflicted. Brooke says you're lying. Check yourself, I urged. One night, he showed at our door. Eyes red. Is it true? About Nevada? I showed the reports. He crumbled. She said it was a misunderstanding. But the plans? She talked guardianship for Mom before she passed. My blood chilled. What? Drafts said it'd protect her. But really? Control the ranch. Tears fell. I was blind. Thought she loved me.
Vi tok it till dawn.
Jake admitted blowing his inheritance on her whims. Trips to Vegas. Her business loans. I'm broke.
Sarah.
Weddings paid with my last dime. Cancel it, Alex advised. Expose her. Jake hesitated. At the altar? Humiliate us. Or let her win? I said. A plan formed. Jake plays along. Gathers more proof. We'd crash with evidence. Call authorities. Humane? Maybe. But Montana law on elder abuse was strict. Attempted fraud could mean jail.
Yet.
Part of me hoped for redemption. Not just revenge. As wedding day neared, Jake fed us intel. Brooke's calls to shady lawyers. Herpects, escape, beg. She's planning to bolt post-vows. With joint access to everything. We prepped. Recordings. Affidavits. Even tipped the county sheriff. Mom's letter from her safe haunted me. Protect Jake from himself. But let him learn. Family's about second chances. Okay.
Mom.
One last stand. The wedding venue was a picture-perfect lodge overlooking glaciers, jagged peaks, timber beams. Wildflower arches. The works. June's sun warmed the air as guests mingled in cowboy hats and sundresses. I'd arrived early with Alex. Tyler safe with a sitter. Vendors buzzed. String quartet tuning up. Caterers setting bison roasts. 120 chairs faced a gazebo draped in lace and sagebrush. All funded by Jake's squandered cash. Regrets? Alex asked, patting the recorder in my jacket.
Nah.
This ends today. I spotted Jake by the groom's cabin. Groomsman, Brooks Picks, clapping his back. He caught my eye, nodded firm. Guests trickled in, old ranch friends. Mom's hospital pals. One. Old Mr. Ellis from the neighboring spread pulled me aside. Brooks been sniffing around. A skin, odd questions about your ma's last days, forgetful spells. What not? Told her your mom was tougher and boot leather till the end. Worried about hereditary issues, huh? I guessed. He chuckled. Planning ahead,
She said.
sly as a fox. Ceremony at 3 p.m.
Sharp.
Processional. Bridesmaids in flowy gowns. Groomsmen in beyond-the-lookout ties. Then the march. Brooke emerged radiant in a gown with pearl accents, veil fluttering like aspen leaves. She glided down the aisle, owning the crowd. Zero doubt. The officiant, a local justice, welcomed all. Vows time. Brooke first. Jake. You've given me roots in this wild west. Security. A legacy to cherish. I vow to stand by you through every peak and valley, claiming what we've earned together. Guess shifted, money hint too on the nose. Jake. The justice prompted. My brother inhaled deep. Brooke. You've schooled me on grit. Schemes. What folks'll do for a buck. Her smile wavered. Showed me how to snoop weaknesses. Pose as kin while eyeing the prize. Jake, she hissed. You aced it, so I did homework too. He held up his phone. Want to hear our chats? Or start with your elder law queries? Stop.
Low.
Venomous. What game is this? What mom wanted? Truth. He hit play. Brooke's voice boomed via gazebo speakers. Your sister's hoardin' ranch land worth $500,000.
Post-wed.
We challenge. Guardianship if needed. Gasps rippled. Phones emerged. Filming. Off. Brooke lunged. Jake dodged. Or, the Nevada bit. Widower's mom you helped. I rose, striding forward with files. Or my birthday trap. Lawyers pushin', power grabs. You. Brooke snarled. Poison in him. Stealin' our due. Our due? Mom's piece. Her ranch. I reached the gazebo. Beside Jake. Page 15. Your guardianship drafts.
Page 28. Doc contact.
Page 40. Fraud trail from Reno. Lies. But her poise shattered. Guests murmured. Some bolted. Previous schemes? A bridesmaid piped. Brooke. Nothin'. They're ruinin'. She whirled on Jake. You spineless fool. Think this wins? You're nothin' without me. Yeah, Jake said soft. I was. But I'm done bein' your pawn. To the crowd. No wedding. PSA. Brooke, real name Emily Hart, preys on families. Usin' love to swipe estates. Guard your elders. Can't prove squat, she shrieked. I'll sue for slander. Leave, I said.
Shérifesse en route fraude.
Elder abuse attempts. Sirens wailed distant. Brooke's face drained. This ain't over. I know your spread. Your kid's school. Threat noted. Alex called. Standing. Witnessed by all.
Keep digging.
Brooke hiked her dress. Fleeing toward ballet. Maids trailed confused. Chaos erupted. Applause. Arguments. Stunned silence. Jake stood tall but shaken. "You nailed it," I whispered. "We did." He hugged me fierce. "Mom'd hate the spectacle. She'd love you fightin' back." Sheriff arrived, taking statements. Evidence. Brooke vanished, but not for long. Back home, fallout hit like a blizzard. Vendors chased payments, guests demanded dirt. Jake fielded with grit I'd never seen. Cancelled. Invoices to my lawyer. By evening, word from sheriff, Brooke nabbed at Missoula Airport. Boarding pass under alias for Vegas. Charges. Attempted fraud. Conspiracy.
Her laptop?
Research on 2 more Montana families, elderly ranchers. "You halted a spree," the deputy said. "Mom's prep saved strangers too." A week on, Jake and I met at the cabin, lakeside retreat with pine scents and loon calls. He'd crashed there, fixing docks, clearing paths. His hands showed work blisters.
Done.
"Been ponderin' Mom's words," he said on the deck. Beers in hand as sun dipped. Consequences. Standin' tall. Enrollin' in community college business. Maybe fraud detection. Turns out, gettin' conned teaches vigilance. I grinned.
Mom d'approve.
Like tinnin' lemons to lemonade. We sat quiet. Memories flooding. Mom teaching us to track elk. Her laugh echoing off water. "Wasted her gifts," he murmured. "Learned late. That's the win." Parents want growth. 3 months later, Decker, the birthday lawyer, called, turning state's witness for leniency. "Sorry," he quavered. She dangled big fees. I bit. "We all stumble," I said, thinking Jake. "Fix what you can." Brooke's trial gripped local news. Charged with fraud. Attempted elder abuse. 2 more families testified. Similar ploys. Judge deemed her a wolf in wedding lace. Exploitin' trust. Sentenced 4 to 8 years. Restitution. Mandatory counseling. Humane touch. Therapy for manipulation issues. Jake testified honest. She isolated me. Twisted love to greed. But I own my part. Weakness let it happen. Post-trial, Jake aced his first semester. Landed a clerk gig at a Missoula fraud firm. Weekends at cabin with study buds. Breathe in new life into old walls. Alex. Tyler. And I visited often. Tyler adored Uncle Jake, learning knots. Skipping stones. "Why the mean lady?" Tyler asked once. "Some fake kindness for gain," I explained. "Be smart, kind, but watchful. Like grandma." Cabin photos multiplied. Jake's enrollment pic. Tyler's first fish. Our family hikes. A year since the altar blow-up. And life settled like dust after a stampede. Jake's midway through his degree. Excelling in forensics accounting, turns out spotting cons honed his skills. He dates casually now.
No ruse.
Lessons etched deep. The ranch thrives. We co-manage. Splitting profits fair. Sold some acreage for conservation. Funded Tyler's college jar. Brooke? Serving time in Deer Lodge Women's Prison. Word is, therapy's chipping her armor, group sessions on empathy. Rebuilding. Part of me hopes she emerges better. Not bitter. Redemption's possible. Right? Dreams still haunt. Signing those papers. Caving for peace. Wake grateful for recordings. Alex's smarts. Mom's foresight. Her psych evals. Detailed will. Barriers against storms. Grateful for you, Jake said recently over cabin coffee. For not giving up. Family's glue, I replied. We mend. District attorney updated. Brooke's appeal denied. Evidence mountain too high. Your stand inspired reports. More victims coming forward. Ripple effect. The cabins are haven now. Mom's ashes in her wildflower garden, overlooking lake. Winds whisper approval through firs. We protected her legacy by growing stronger. Lesson light but profound, greed blinds, but truth and family illuminates. No perfect endings, just better paths forward. But let's rewind a bit to flesh out how we got here. After the wedding fiasco, Jake crashed with us a spell. Mornings, he'd help with chores, mucking stalls, fixing fences. Therapy for the soul, he'd joke. Evenings, we'd pore over finances, his debts from Brooke's schemes.
Alex guided pro bono.
Restructuring. Start small, Alex advised. Budget like a rancher in drought. Jake nodded, humbled. Never learned that. Mom tried, but I dodged. One night, poring over Mom's old journals, found in cabin attic, we uncovered gems. Entries on us kids. Sarah's steady as the Rockies, but Jake's wild as the wind. Guide him gentle. Tears flowed. She saw it all, Jake whispered. Gave you control knowing I'd blow it. Trusted you'd circle back. That sparked his turnaround. Enrolled online first, then in person. First test, A's. Feels good, he beamed. Earning it. Brooke's arrest made headlines. Wedding con foiled in glacier drama. Reporters hounded. We declined interviews. Private, I insisted. But anonymously. We shared tips. Watch for red flags in relationships, rushed commitments. Estate probes. Community workshops sprouted in Missoula, elder protection seminars. Jake spoke at one. I was the mark.
Don't be.
Vulnerable. Powerful. Trial was grueling. Brooke's defense, victim of family conspiracy. But evidence stacked, recordings, witnesses, her Reno past. Jake on stand. Loved her or thought I did. But love don't scheme. Prosecutor highlighted Montana's elder laws, strict penalties for exploitation. Judge's words. You weaponized affection. Time to reflect. Sentence included rehab, humane nod to root causes. Perhaps her own traumas. Post-verdict. A letter arrived from Brooke. Hate what I did. Therapy's opening eyes. Sorry won't cut it. But it start. Jake read aloud. Conflicted. Burn it. Nah, I said. Proof change possible. He filed it away. Lesson. Forgiveness ain't forget. Tyler's grown wiser too. Uncle Jake's a hero now. Kinda. Face mistakes.
Fixate.
Family dinners regular. Laughs. Stories. Alex and I renewed vows at cabins simple. Under stars. Jake officiated. Justice certified.
Full circle, he toasted.
Challenges linger. Ranch taxes up. Market dips. But united. We weather. Jake's firm offers internship. He's eyeing certification. Fraud buster, he grins. Mom's spirit? In every sunrise. Every shared meal. We didn't just survive, we thrived. Greed's temptation universal. But integrity's the true Western gold. Flash forward to now. Crisp fall. Leaves turning. Jake's over. Helping Tyler carve pumpkins. Laughter fills air. Phone buzzes, sheriff. Brooke's parole in early good behavior. Program completion.
Pause.
She's changed.
Seems so.
Plans social work helping at-risk families. Irony thick. Watchful, I say. But hope flickers. Light lesson. People's arcs bend toward good if given chance. As seasons cycle in Montana's vast expanse, our stories etch like petroglyphs on ancient rock, enduring, instructive. That birthday ambush feels distant, yet its echoes shape us. I recall the steakhouse tension. Lawyers' smug faces crumbling under truth's weight. Jake's transformation? Priceless. From drifter to driven, he's interning full-time, busting small scams for locals. Pay in forward, he says. Brooke's release came quiet.
No fanfare.
Just a monitored transition to Billings' halfway house. She reached out by a lawyer. Apology letter. Restitution checks trickling in. Won't undo pain, she wrote. But trying. Jake met her once. Neutral ground coffee shop. Closure, he explained later. She's broken. Rebuilding. Therapy unearthed her past. Abusive home. Survival mode. Compassion stirred. Don't excuse, I said. But understand. He nodded. Cycles break with empathy. Our ranch? Flourishing. Added eco-tours. Sharing mom's conservation ethos. Tyler leads kid groups. Pointing wildlife. Grandma's land, he beams. Cabin hosts retreats. Family bonds workshops. Jake facilitates. Drawing from our saga. Red flags. Isolation. Money pushes, he teaches. Attendees nod. Stories shared. One woman. Stopped a similar scheme. Thanks. Legal clarity. Alex ensures. Updated wills. Trusts ironclad. Montana's probate reforms tightened post cases like ours. Mandatory competency checks. Fraud alerts. We advocated quietly. Testifying in Helena. Protect vulnerable. I urged lawmakers. Bill passed, small win. Daily life.
Richer.
Sunday rides with Jake. Tyler whooping on pony. Evenings. Alex grills trout. We stargaze. What if I'd signed? I muse sometimes. Lost more in land. Lost us. Alex hugs. But you fought. That's you. Mom's journal entry resonates. Strength's not loan. It's lean in on kin. A year post-release. Brooke emails. Working at senior center. Fraud prevention. Irony.
Huh.
Your story inspired. Jake replies. Good on ya. Keep going.
No friendship.
But truce. Humane end. Not vengeance. But growth all around. Lesson light. In the West's wide open. Greed narrows vision. But truth expands horizons. Family's the compass, stray. But recalibrate. Mom knew. Plant seeds of resilience. Harvest redemption. Her legacy? Not acres or accounts. But bonds unbreakable. As sun sets over peaks. Painting sky fiery. I whisper thanks. We didn't shatter, we shone. And, in that light, we all found our way home.